Welcome, everyone. Families, loved ones, and friends, I present to you the 2021-2022 UC Berkeley Undergraduate Data Science graduating class. I'm John De Niro, Associate. Okay, the most common question I get these days is, I think, the same question that every single graduate here has had to answer for their family. What is data science anyway? Well, there's the academic answer. An emerging discipline that enables statistical inference at an unprecedented scale using computing as the instrument of inquiry. And then there's the exciting answer, the answer that drew so many of you to the field. Data science is a chance to understand our world through data. And what about our world do we try to understand? Well, a lot. We can start to answer that question by listing just a few of the many domain emphases that this year's data science majors have pursued. Cognition, human behavior, economics, evolution, ecology, inequalities in society, and many, many more. Because to understand the world through data requires understanding what the data represent about the world, and only then bringing the power of computing and statistics to bear. Second most common question I get, why would anybody major in that? Well, that long list of domains indicates just how much you can do with what you've learned here. They could even get a job. But at Berkeley, we also make sure that all of you start to think about how the world is changing and the implications of data collection and data science. Now, you all will be the ones creating new data-driven technologies and using them to change the world. Please do it in a way that creates a world in which all of us benefit from the technological progress you create. Getting here today required a tremendous amount of hard work from you, graduates, but also from the staff and faculty who support this major. And now I get to turn things over to someone who has worked tirelessly to bring us all together today. It is my immense pleasure to introduce our leader in establishing UC Berkeley as the top undergraduate data science program in the country, our Associate Provost and Dean, Professor Jennifer Chase.
Thank you, John. Boy, John and I are different heights, but we both have a lot of energy. Okay, so welcome to the spring commencement for the Bachelor's of Data Science program at UC Berkeley, part of the Division of Computing, Data Science, and Society, or CDSS, and the College of Letters and Sciences. I'm delighted to note that Berkeley's data science program has grown exponentially since it began 4 years ago. Most of you came to Berkeley when there was not even a data science program. It's absolutely amazing. Many students are increasingly recognizing that they can have important impacts in technology, their communities, and the world with a data science degree from Berkeley. We are now the 4th largest major on campus. I want to congratulate the 487 graduates who are here today in person and the nearly 700 graduates of data science this year. This is an impressive accomplishment, not only because you've completed a demanding curriculum, but also because you've done so during a global pandemic. We know this has not been easy, but just look at what you've accomplished. We are so glad you chose to be here today so that we can celebrate your accomplishments with you. I also want to welcome and thank the faculty and staff who are here to celebrate our students. Yes. They have provided the substance and support structure for the outstanding educational experience, and our faculty and staff have been tireless advocates for our students. Last, but certainly not least, I want to welcome the families and friends of the graduates who have come here from all over the country and indeed the world to celebrate these graduates. And we recognize those families who were unable to travel here to be here today because of the pandemic. Thank you to the parents, partners, and friends of today's graduates, whether near or far. Thank you for supporting our graduates through their journey. It should come as no surprise that graduates from our data science program are moving into exciting careers in technology, nonprofits, government, and academia. We need brilliant and fearless data scientists to help address pressing societal challenges, including misinformation and bias, climate change and sustainability, biomedicine and health, and social justice. And you are now the newest members of a prestigious and well-connected Berkeley alumni community. I hope you'll rely on your fellow graduates in data science as an abundant source of friendship, support, and career advice throughout your life. Professor John De Niro, our own personal Berkeley rock star, will introduce our faculty speaker who really started us on this path.
Our faculty speaker today is someone for whom I feel deep gratitude, not only because he was the one who hired me, but also for his outstanding leadership as the very first Dean of Data Science at Berkeley. From the earliest days of creating our first undergraduate courses through the creation of this major, he brought faculty and staff together from all across campus to build new connections and new opportunities for our students. And for his pioneering research that has accumulated an astronomical 100,000 citations, and for his tremendous service to this university, last year he received the Berkeley Citation Award, which is this campus's highest honor. But because of the pandemic, he never actually received the physical award. So I brought it here today so that you all could share with me this opportunity to recognize his decades of outstanding contributions. I'll keep this safe just a little while longer since you've kindly agreed to do one last job, which is to share some thoughts with us today. So please join me now in welcoming Professor Emeritus David Culler.
Thank you, John, for that kind introduction. Maybe the best thing I did as chair. Welcome, family and friends. Data science grads, congratulations. It is so exciting to be celebrating this well-deserved recognition with you. And getting to front for Neil Stevenson, how cool is that? So perhaps I can translate John's intro just a bit. I was basically the beta version of Jennifer. So back when I was beta dean, I, in public speaking, often began by apologizing for being a bit of a booster because Cal was the most important institution in my life. It wasn't just 31 years on the faculty and being alum and have met my wife in those basement classrooms of Evans Hall, 39th anniversary on Friday. And my parents met in the math department, and my brother and his wife, and my two uncles, and my sister-in-law, and other sisters. You get the message. So it's customary in commencement speakers to share a few pearls of wisdom. So I'd like to root my remarks in family. And speaking of family, grads, why don't you stand up, turn around, and let your family and friends know just how much you appreciate them. Yes, families, we are proud of them too. So family pearls. The first of mine starts with my father. He was one of the pioneers of computing. He's the reason that UCSB was one of the original 4 nodes on what today is the internet, which means I've experienced the internet growing from 4 nodes to 4 billion. How about that for scientific reality, Neil? The reason that came to be was essentially he had interactive mathematical programming, literally teaching calculus online, like Jupyter today, but those array operations were a single keystroke when the rest of the world was punching cards and debating whether we really needed lowercase and things like that. So his view when I was growing up was that the role of computing wasn't just to do the grunt work of running the numbers, but to serve human creativity, to give us ways of thinking about solving new problems. And I think this program has embodied some of that in you. So I hope you realize you too are pioneers, creative trailblazers. You could have majored in almost anything. You majored in a brand new program and one that really is unique. It draws from the knowledge base throughout campus in a way you put together for yourself. So don't be afraid to continue to break trail. Explore those pathways less tread. There's so much yet ahead of you to discover. Which brings me to my second pearl. This one, my youngest son, yes, microbiology, UC Santa Cruz, older computer science, UC Santa Barbara. Did I say UC is kind of important. He's a little boy beginning to read, pointing out the signs. As we drove along, he says, "Dad, why aren't there any go signs?" We stop, we go, we pause, we go again, no go signs. I wish I could get students to ask those kind of questions. So that's my message to you. Continue to explore the intellectual negative space. As you go forward, your life, you will be constantly be presented with what is and asked to work with it in various ways. Stop and ask yourself what isn't, what could be. Just 4 years ago, there was no data science to major. Today, it's on its way to becoming the largest major in the university. The knowledge, skills, and insights you have to ask questions others don't think to ask, and find answers others would miss. So, think about what isn't. My last one, all communities need a creation myth. Could I tell you a story about the creation of Data 8? You say, is that family? Well, it's data science family. It started in weekly meetings in some tiny room in Soda Hall. I was chair of EECS at the time and had run a faculty task force. We had decided to create a new course in computational inferential thinking accessible to the entire student body. So we pulled together this little group of faculty. John had been teaching 61A and had grown it over no time to like 1,000 people. Ani, another pedagogical deity, had been doing Stat 2 and taken it to edX. Deb Nolan was supposed to be on sabbatical, but having done 133, she couldn't stay out there in New England. I had a piece for Michael Jordan, who's not here today, so you'll have to tell this to him. He had never taught an intro class. But he had all these big ideas about bootstrapping this and bootstrapping that, big bags of bootstraps. So family, don't worry, ask your grads, they'll explain to you all about it. We had these wonderful discussions that went around in circles. As you could expect, Ani got frustrated at some point and showed up with an entire syllabus, which we all disagreed with. And it was a great conversation that lasted weeks. Jupyter hadn't arrived yet. Fernando was still doing IPython, but we decided this notebook thing might work, so we committed to that. So summer arrived. We had 98 brave, fresh people signed up, and John is the instructor of record, and nothing seemed to be getting started, and I was getting a little anxious, so what could I do? So John had this one idea at the early part where he said, we'll teach the students one data structure and they'll do everything with it. And this had stayed with me for months. So I took a vacation from administrative work and cobbled together the first version of tables. And I was really anxious. I showed it to John and he said, oh, this is pretty good. And then completely rewrote every piece of it, made it so much better. So, the pearl here is sometimes you just need to get started. Think hard, discuss with others what you're endeavoring to do, but sometimes you just have to build it and give it a try. One thing leads to another. Graduating today, you don't know where your life will lead, but you're full of ideas, talent, knowledge, with support from many around you, so take that first leap. It may not be perfect, but you'll learn and you'll grow and know better what you're really capable of. There's an immense unexplored landscape ahead of you, not the least of which someday will be you might decide to start a family. The world is full of things that nobody has ever done and ideas no one has ever started. So just get started and go Bears.
Thank you for everything, Professor Kalla. I remember those meetings vividly. I'm Ani Adhikari. It is my honor to introduce your undergraduate speaker, Carlos Ortiz. From the day he took his first data science class, you can guess which one, Carlos became a powerhouse in data science undergraduate studies. He set himself high academic standards and was part of the data science honors program, with a particular interest in sustainability and the environment. He was a member of the student team on human context and ethics in our field, and he has worked tirelessly to combat racism. Data 8, the class that sparked his interest in data science, has benefited hugely from his creative and perceptive presence on the teaching staff. He has been my partner and a principal developer of the Data Scholars program for students from backgrounds that are minoritized in data science. And he has done all of it with enormous positive energy and a 1,000-watt smile. It is a joy and a privilege to present Carlos Ortiz.
Hi, everyone. Data 8? Data 8? So with Data 8, I was fascinated by its combination of computational thinking, inferential thinking, and most importantly, its real-world relevance. It was the first class that excited me about my future. And like many of you, I had finally found something that challenged me and empowered me to think differently. And I saw my potential to break boundaries in the field. I'm a Latino student from a first-generation low-income background. When I talk to my parents about data science, they have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, and absolutely no idea how to describe it to family and friends. All they know is that I sit down in front of a computer and code, however that works. When I visit home, my mom looks at the computer and says, "No entiendo ni nada," which in English translates to, "I understand absolutely nothing." Yet that's what I find most fascinating about it. We are at the forefront. Yes, all of you. And we are designing the future of how it is being created, taught, and used across the world. To contextualize what I'm talking about, I want to share with you a memorable experience I had earlier this year. I was invited to attend 60 2022, a conference for educators across the nation and world to discuss issues related to the development, implementation, and/or evaluation of computer programs. Alongside Berkeley faculty and peers, I led a workshop that taught how Berkeley is scaling and transforming data science. I talked about my experiences in the teaching pipeline up to a Data 8 lead TA, my role in leading Data Scholars Foundations to over 100 students, and my involvement in research and creating curriculum with the Human Context and Ethics program. I was met with so much excitement, but most importantly, so many questions about how all of this was possible as an undergraduate myself. I realized that opportunities such as modules, connectors, discovery, human context and ethics, data scholars, and the many data-oriented organizations that you are a part of on campus do not exist at any other institution, at least not the way that we do it. In other words, data science is the place to be because of all of you. The most shocking part was when I attended an Intro to Data Science brainstorm session, where educators discussed what topics should be considered for the course. This course that's being brainstormed was Data 100, which has existed here at Berkeley since 2017. But most importantly, we treat Data 100 as anything but intro. The accessibility of data science is important to take it to new heights. It's the reason why I'm here, and most importantly, it's the reason why a lot of us are here. And that's the best part. To learn computing should be accessible to all, regardless of your personal or educational background. When I took Data 8, I felt hope and I saw myself working in the field. Our diverse presence matters. We decide what data is collected and studied, and what kinds of questions and experiments are designed. At Berkeley, I have now taught over 200 peers how to use data to empower their learning, research, and future endeavors. This is how I know that the future is so bright. To see my students learn how to code for the first time, then see my own students teach alongside me the following semester, and then see them do bright and bold things on campus and beyond, is what I see in all of us. It's incredible how accessibility empowers us and will continue to be a source of light for the world. Now the question is, where do we see ourselves in the future? Think about it. Like, think, you know? For myself, I have absolutely no idea, and I feel like data science has empowered me to have contributions and collaborations across many fields. So I'm not picking a particular route at the moment. Also, I live by a particular motto, that rejection is redirection. I'm sure we have all been met with rejection from opportunity we also desired, but consider how it opened you to new and better opportunities. I'd like to think that that's the reason why I'm standing here right now. I hope that all of you are open to this idea and take it with you as you pursue your future endeavors. Congratulations to the class of 2022. You made your dreams possible, and I can't wait to experience the impact that you will have on our future. Thank you to the faculty, staff, and peers that have shaped our future endeavors, and most importantly, a sincere thank you to the family and friends who have supported us to be present in this exciting moment. Now that I'm here, there are some people that I would like to thank. Professor Adhikari, for inspiring me and trusting me to leave a legacy with how data science at Berkeley will be taught for years to come. The Data 8 and Data Scholars course staff, for the environment and adventures that shaped how to be the most memorable experiences of mine at Berkeley. My friends, for sharing experiences and memories with me, and for inspiring me to do bright and bold things. And most importantly, my parents. Ma y pa, estoy parado aquí porque ustedes me enseñaron cómo echarle ganas para cumplir mis sueños. Mi graduación no es solo mi graduación. Hoy nos graduamos. Thank you to everyone, and go Bears.
Thank you. That was great, Carlos. Okay, now I would like to introduce our commencement speaker. I'm really excited about this. Neil Stephenson is the best-selling author of Snow Crash, The Diamond Age, and many other works of speculative and historical fiction, including the recently published climate change techno-thriller Termination Shock. Neil has been a close friend of mine for, I just realized this, over a quarter of a century. It's kind of scary. I've even been acknowledged in a couple of his novels. For better or for worse, Neil is possibly best known to the general public these days for having coined the term metaverse. You've probably heard of the metaverse, yes? Read his new novels to see what will be the dominant trends 25 years from now. Neil has been employed in a technical capacity at Blue Origin, that's, the Jeff Bezos spaceship thing, Intellectual Ventures Lab, and most recently as the chief futurist at Magic Leap, which is an augmented reality company. And I'm very happy to say that he recently joined our board, the Computing, Data Science, and Society Advisory Board, which advises us for all of you. So please join me in welcoming Neil Stephenson.
Thank you, Jennifer. I had the privilege of knowing the late Walter Wriston, the former chairman and CEO of Citicorp, and the most prominent banker of the post-war era. He was always dressed in a pinstriped suit. His business card read, Walter Wriston, 55 Wall Street, New York, New York. He was born 103 years ago, which meant that when we were talking about the internet, he was able to draw connections back to the introduction of radio and its social impact on the small Midwestern town where he grew up. In 1996, Walt was on the cover of Wired. This must have been as surprising to his Wall Street chums as it was to the cool cyber kids who were reading that magazine in those early days. The headline, "He was the most powerful banker in the world, so why is he talking like a cypherpunk?" In a 1999 interview with CNN when he was 79 years old, Walt said, "Going forward, I think cryptography for internet transactions will be at the heart of bank technology." Remember, this was 10 years before Bitcoin existed. Last week, during the crypto crash, I found myself wishing I could call him up and get his thoughts on it, since he was easily old enough to remember the great crash of 1929 and its aftermath. The most astonishing thing about Walt, though, was that he had actually heard of me. I had been socializing in Berkeley a little bit with cypherpunks who were in touch with him, so maybe it was through that connection, but by the time I met him, he had read my novel Cryptonomicon. It turns out that when Walt was in the Army during World War II, he was in the Signal Corps, and his job involved running around the Philippines with a code machine. This overlaps to an uncanny degree with the subject matter of that novel. It made a great icebreaker when we found ourselves together in the same room. So, Walter Wriston was hip to crypto long before I was born. He became a banker later, so the relevance of crypto to banking was perfectly obvious to him. Now, what does this all have to do with you? It has to do with the establishment. By that, I'm referring to the New York-centered power structure that dominated the world during the so-called American century following World War II. But it can mean other more recent establishments as well, possibly more relevant to Berkeley's class of 2022. Now, I really liked Walt a lot and thought he was a great guy, but no one could have been more establishment than him. During one of our conversations, he patiently listened to me holding forth for a while about my opinions on international relations, making eye contact and nodding thoughtfully the whole time. When I was finished, he pondered what I had said for a few moments, then remarked, "You know, Neil, last night in New York, I was having dinner with Henry Kissinger and George Shultz, and I think they would disagree with you." What never would have occurred to me if Walt hadn't told me the following is that the establishment started recently. It wasn't merely the continuation of something that had been around for a long time. In 1946, huge numbers of people like Walt had been released from military service and joined the workforce. They then were where you are now. Walt happened to get recruited by a bank, and the situation there was weird. The Wall Street crash had happened in 1929, 17 years earlier, a whole generation as that's measured in the workforce. During the years following the crash, surviving New York financial institutions hadn't hired a lot of new people. The few they had hired might not have been the cream of the crop because the whole industry had a miserable reputation during the 1930s and simply wasn't seen as a way to get ahead. The picture didn't brighten up until the war, but during the war, all of the capable young people got hoovered up by the military. Not until 1946 did they emerge into the recruiting pool. Banks and other establishment institutions snapped them up. But these were not wet behind the ears kids. Weeks earlier, they'd been flying P-38s in aerial combat in the South Pacific, commanding torpedo boats like JFK, or like Walt, running around war-torn jungles with code machines. They had seen shit that the older generation running these institutions wouldn't believe. And that older generation was quite old, consisting of people who had been recruited during the 1920s in what might as well have been a different planet, a world only a few years removed from the reign of Queen Victoria and Kaiser Wilhelm, when international banking still ran on the gold standard. People like Walt swaggered into these institutions, took one look around, and basically grabbed the steering wheel and never let go. The establishment was a youth movement. This is how we got a 43-year-old president of the United States in 1960, John F. Kennedy, a war veteran. Imagine what it would take to get a 43-year-old into the White House today. Now, I'm semi-old. I'm 62, and I think I know a few things. So swaggering twerps aren't my cup of tea necessarily, but I would point out that you guys have seen some shit too. Most of you have never been aware of a timeline in which the World Trade Center hadn't been obliterated. As youngsters, you lived through the worst financial crash since the Great Depression. Just during the time you've been going through higher education, you've seen an attempted coup run out of the White House with co-conspirators in the Supreme Court and Congress aimed at toppling our 230-year-old Constitution. A global pandemic that in 2 years killed twice as many Americans as the Second World War killed in 4. And just within the last few months, the most heinous act of military aggression to occur in Europe since the beginning of the Second World War, an event that may yet lead to a Third World War. All of which, as huge as it is, may turn out to be insignificant compared to the fact that just during the 62 years I've been alive, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has risen from 320 parts per million to over 420, higher than it has been since 4 million years ago when sea level was 78 feet higher than it is today. And it's still going up fast and will continue to do so for a few more decades. This is amazing. More amazing is that with the exception of rising CO2 levels, none of the things I've just mentioned were expected. They were all surprises. The pre-2020 establishment was as unprepared for all of this as its predecessor 100 years earlier was for the Great Depression and the war. So here's the part where a commencement speaker is supposed to offer some inspiration and some advice. As far as inspiration goes, I don't really have anything specific to hang my weird Ren Fair hat on, but I will say that there is potential in the utter shocking weirdness of everything that is going on. The business as usual mentality is overpoweringly strong, and it takes a lot to effect change, but we seem to have done it, for example, with vaccines. The speed with which safe, effective coronavirus vaccines were invented, produced, and distributed really is something new in the world. And on a darker note, the Ukrainians have done it with military technology. They're grafting 3D printed fins onto dumb Cold War grenades and dropping them out of consumer-grade drones through the sunroofs of cars while staying networked together over Starlink, running a sort of Uber for pinpoint delivery of explosives and sending the video in almost real time to YouTube, where it can be re-soundtracked with Ukrainian death metal in which Russians are referred to as orcs and their country as Mordor. The only thing those two situations, vaccines and grenade drones, have in common is that they emerged from life or death crises of extreme urgency and immediacy. Only that can cut through the fog of misinformation that hangs over everything touched by social media and that turns even the most talented, energetic people into confused, indecisive morons. People are actually rather good at taking effective action when they are in direct contact with objective reality, when they know for real what's going on. As to advice, read history. I do it all the time. It almost doesn't matter what history you're reading as long as it has enough narrative momentum to keep you engaged. This might sound like a contradiction. I've been talking about all of these recent events that seem like they're without precedent. So what good does reading history do? My answer is you'll see. If you read about the run-up to the American Civil War, Ron Chernow's biography of U.S. Grant is a good place to start. You'll be astounded by its parallels to what is happening in America now. If you read Anne Applebaum's book, Red Famine, about the Holodomor, Stalin's terror famine in the Ukraine during the 1930s, you'll understand a lot more about what you're seeing on YouTube 90 years later. If you read Daniel Defoe's Journal of the Plague Year, written 360 years ago, you'll be struck by the parallels to the opening months of the COVID-19 pandemic. Since you're all computing and data science people, let me put it this way. History is an incredibly efficient form of data compression. If you're looking at a stream of data and you notice that it contains repetition, redundancy, what do? You say, oh, we've seen this before. This is another one of those. and you replace the big unwieldy chunks of redundant material with much smaller tokens, you end up with a greatly reduced amount of information that needs to be thought about. Better yet, it's easier for the human mind to make sense of. What you're doing when you read history is stocking your brain with tokens that you can mentally substitute for vast redundant chunks of contingent information that come flooding in every day on the news. It's what Walt was doing when I talked about the internet in the 1990s, and he drew parallels back to radio in the 1920s. There will be a time 6 decades from now, the closing years of the 21st century, when you will be as old as Walt was when he was talking to me, when people will look at you as old and as belonging to some kind of establishment. I hope it won't be called a post-war establishment, because I hope there won't be a war, at least a bigger war than what we've already got. But it'll sure as hell be post-something, post the global crisis of circa 2020, whatever we end up calling this mess we're in now. Anyway, they're going to be looking at you, as I looked at Walt, as representatives of a power structure that'll seem eternal to them, like it was always there. And you'll be saying to them, no, hang on, just no, you don't understand. You don't understand how much things changed, what I lived through as a kid and as a young adult, how different things were before, the crisis we were born into, and the way we were forced to deal with it. Congratulations and good luck.
Well, that was wonderful, and you will remember that when you are 60. Please join me now in honoring some of our most outstanding graduates in data science. First, I'd like to recognize the 2021-22 class of the Data Science Honors Program. These students have not only demonstrated excellence in their classes, but have also spent the past year conducting original research under the guidance of a faculty member. Recently, they presented this research publicly as part of our annual Honors Symposium. Honors students, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Our students aren't just students. You heard from Carlos, and you know from your own experience, our students are also teachers. Their partnership with the faculty is fundamentally important to our instructional programs, and they provide invaluable support to thousands of students every semester. Let's hear it for our student teachers. Sponsored by the Graduate Council and the Teaching and Resource Center, the Outstanding Graduate Student Instructor Award honors excellence at teaching at Berkeley. This year's recipients for data classes are Catherine Tsai, Megan Wang, Xinran Liang, and Ellen Pearson. Recipients who are unfortunately unable to be with us today, Anirudhan Badrinath and Michelle Lee. The Outstanding Data Science Undergraduate Award recognizes distinguished work in data science as well as contributions to Berkeley's student community. All of the recipients have outstanding performance records in rigorous classes. But they also have so much more than that. Together, they demonstrate the broad scope of data science and the diverse interests of our many students. Our first recipient has a deep interest in public policy and has worked to integrate data science and political science. The chief editor of a policy journal for undergraduates, she is preparing for a career in public service. Ellen Lasko. Our next recipient is an experienced teacher in the Data Scholars Program, supporting students from backgrounds minoritized in our field. She is heading off to graduate school to prepare for a research career at the intersection of data science and education. Amelia Lee. Our third recipient started at Berkeley as a transfer student in the remote learning era, uncertain about being able to find a community here in the online world. But he found it in data science. In 2 short years, he has developed into a star student and researcher in data analytics in the business world. Rongsen Lee. The next recipient needs no further introduction today. He is our undergraduate speaker, Carlos Ortiz. With an interest in the philosophy and morals of our field, our fifth recipient is a data scientist who has all the while been proudly representing Cal as an athlete. Her goals include using data science for the benefit of sports and athletes across the globe. Janae Spinks. The department citation honors exceptional performance in the field of data science. This year's recipient has a stellar academic record in data science, computer science, and mathematics. Her research on artificial intelligence and deep learning has already been accepted for publication. We wish her well as she heads off to get her PhD. Presenting to you the 2022 recipient of the Department Citation in Data Science, Xinran Liang. Congratulations to all our award winners. I now invite Dean Chase to begin the reading of our graduates' names.
Okay, today is a very special day, and many of you will be taking photographs. We ask that you please keep the aisles and the sides of the stage clear in consideration of those who are seated. Now we have come to that moment you have all been waiting for. Graduates, our staff will now help you make your way to the stage so that your names may be read and you may be celebrated. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our graduates. So I'm not actually reading, right? No.
You're not.
Oh, you think?
If you're going to read the name, I'm going to fix your microphone.
What?
Carlos Ortiz. Raymond Wong. Wei Si Lee. Raj Dasani. Yi Ying Tyo. Zihao Zhao. Janae Spinks. Rongsen Lee. Ellen Lasco. Shinran Liang. Kush Amin. Ishan Sharma. Haley Tran. Jackson Chi. Jasmine Wu. Thomas Liu. Jessica Wang. Joyce Zhang. Sahyun Jun. Miriam Porshariati. Amanda Horatio. Ananya Patnaik. Zara Mohanty. Namira Faisal Akhtar. Ojaswi Khanna. Ishika Goyal. Pedro DeMarcos. Amy Wang. Gayatri Babel. Abhishek Roy. Tanya Krishan. Aryan Kanoi. Salman Ahmed. Claire Lay. Ellis Santoso. Yishuan Li. Reija Liao. Rohil Kanwar. Sarthak Arora. Devyanshi Agarwal. Chaitali Mandavya. Urjil Sangvi. Haijing He, Henry Chong, Ankita Kini, Grace Q, Uma Krishnaswamy, Andi Halim, Anita Shen, Shitong Huang, Kelvin Lay, Hector Juarez Vargas, Sebastian Jurado, Mateo Ortiz Ambrosio, Vishnu Karukanda, Diane Au, Betty Yee, Ai Setoyama, Mesuna Hashalit, Jonathan Rubalcava, Sarab Narayan, Mohammed Ahmed, Pavan Gowda, Love Pinnock, Mei Ivina Wang, Zihan Wen, Chuen Lo, Cynthia Kolapel, Richard Rogenkemper, Diego Puduque, Lanjing Wong, Ha Yun Hong, Min Jong Kim, Dennis Lee, Tenzin Chosen, Emma Toon, Rishva Reddy, Eliza Van Hamel Plotterink, Stefan Schlatter, Samuel Wright, Thomas Kulowick, Annie Chai, Young Hoon Kang, Alan Jane, Justin Som, Samuel Slack, Victor Leon, Ahan Saberwal, Sahil Shangle, Tianruan Lee, Jason Barak, Augustus Dorico, Zachary Souley, Sabrina Chang, McKenna Wilcox, Jalene Mascardo. Kevin Salazar. Arjun Kshirsagar. Isabel Zavian. Kristen Wong. Hanya Ali. Lauren Tang. Alexis Lopez. Muskan Goyal. Ashithra Ishwaran. Ren Zen. Karthiki Gar. Anika Ravit. Xian Yi Zhang. Anne Wong. Fazon Merchant. Mario Montoya Llamas. Bobo Kwok. Ryan Adam Abanilla Sandin. Jessica Rodriguez. Jillian Villano. Satara Kianrok. Jia Yu Zhang. Ran Wong. Roberto Marone. Christopher Gray. Cameron Brandt. Asrita Srirambatla. Arushi Karandikar. Olivia Chang. Margaret Misutina. Joshua Alvarez. Rithvik Sonku. Uday Krishna Kalra. Shreyas Haraharan. Shirley Wong. Nicole Tin. Chandler Byun. Bryce Fang. Daniel Sharoz. Lai Sun. Aram Kathuria. Minori Jagia. Sarah Chala. Varun Mittal. Rithik Goli. Simran Bhargava. Rohini Iyengar. Cyprien Morel Chaha de Utia. Basil Swiden. Dezhang Zhao. Daniel Chung. Joseph Pang, Steve Cow, Aska Zaman, Apoorv Lavange, David Chen, Ryan Chen, Shijong Shan, Abru Adak, Yash Mathur, Chingshu Changyu, Karis Liao, Audrey Gregoria, Tiffany Natasha, Alice Chen, Abby Tan, Baljinder Singh, Michelle Kaganovsky, Flora Dong, Michael Chandler, Ike Chen, Ziyue Li, Atmika Pai, Arnav Gulati, Iris Kim, Vivian Du, Aaron Lay, Gao Wen Huang, Ingjie Mackenzie Chen, YM Gordon Tsai, Claire Bachand, Jacob Rodkowitz, Wesley Chung, Tiani Pan, Huan Ran Feng, Jiayang Xin, Alicia Chao Chu, Harold Cha, Rita Wang, Shabam Singh, Muchi Chen, Caroline Jones, Amanda Jorgensen, Emily La, Tong Shen, Zhao Jiang, Kevin Ghaffari, Eileen Wong, Kenneth Chang, Sehua Ryu, Ji In Lee, Daniel Yamada, Aaron Lin, Tina Ha, Sung Yoon Yang, Alan Ong, Waleed Albaki, Viviana Michelle, Chaya Bakshi, Tara Kumar, Christina Haley, Alicia Mirapuri, Michelle Can, Sarah Shikanov, Rodrigo Cochran, Sadhavi Umesh, Nicholas Wong, Micah Young, Ava Takizadeh, Ayla Chugtai, Sarah Neme, Kiana Kazumi, Ananya Raghavan, Nirmal Kaur Singh Kaur, Harry Lee, Nayanika Chavan, Hannah Sheikh, Sachi Kenny, Grace Altry, Kira Wong, Noor Hanafi, Jacqueline Telson, Dennis Junich, Ali Fati, Lyle Lalunio, Vincent Dang, Aaron Lee, Olivia Chin, Jennifer Tron, Yolanda Shen, Ria Manoharan, Imran Sekalala, Young Suk Kim, Justin Garneau, Hitansh Nagdev, Thomas Jang, Claire Chor, Michael Wright, Evan Magsig, Christina Love, Erica Woe, Joanne Garcia, Li Ming Luo, Juan Yang, Kelly Zabers, Kim Hoa Win, Lillian Zhou. Sophia Saya. Kaylee Wong. Montserrat Lopez. Jason Chen. Sandra Zavala. Emily Lopez. Kara Jia. And Sophie Doucet. Cameron Rose Figueres. Elliot Shadgu. Michelle Wang. Anna Pai. Sufyan Suleiman. Jia-Jun Liu. Connor Harrington. Kiana Afshar. Alan Shao. James Chuang. Vihan Manchanda. Blaze Carson. Yi Young Yu. Jessica Yu. Christopher Diaz. Sham Kumar. Will Aquino. Danny Wu. Hans Ali Oberon Ocampo. Jingshan Xu. Jinyin Wu. Brian Lin. Emily Liu. Daniel Ha. Selena Liu. David Sher. Aiden Salazar. Narmin Mamadsoy. James Susilo. Jonathan Zhao. Jerome Chen. Shujia Dong. Yifei Yin.
Fiona Lin.
Amy Wong. Sheyun Shen. Dungor Singh. Angikar Singh Chana. Saisindu Goli. Amik Karbindra. Hannah Chia. James Marquez. Abhinav Singh, Yilin Yan, Brandon Chun, Saro Chung, James Wang, Jiwan Shin, Jerry Chow, Alicia Gao, Varsha Vaidyanath, Eileen Peralta, Raziuddin Mahmood, Ruhi Doshi, Kushi Malde, Ruth Frausto, Katie Chen, Justin Carlu Lim, Brandon Gonzalez, Michele Machluf Cavero, Carlos Lopez Tenorio, Xiaohe Tian, Jiaming Yuan, Hillary Josephine, Jale Swun, Sahil Dong, Anish Didwania, Rachit Parikh, Nikita Raman, Ayush Segal, Malik Muhammad Abdullah Khan, Joyce Russell Talavera, Justin Tan, Yanni Lee, Shreya Chowdhury, Naman Patel, Suraj Shah, Pranav Bhimani, Geeta Shankar, Ria Berry, Radhika Iyer, Justin Wu, Joseph Springer, Alexander Feinleib, Louis Ortiz, Pranav Nagarajan, Dennis Franco, Jose Cortez, Santosh Mathialagan, Ari Shanlu Chen, Emily Betalski, Michelle Liu, Lauren Elizabeth White, Christina Steinmeier, Alexander Lee, Russell Algio, Zane D'Amico, Yu Kai Lo, Annika Cruz, Miguel Angel Lázares, Anthony Renzi, Jindy Chen, Haley Ji-yoon Park, Lisandro Franco, Sohan Subhash, Mandy Zhang, Tyler Freund, Lawrence Duong, Almitra Dabolkar, Mihira Patel, Adyan Gupta, Zhejian Deng, Yu Min Wu, Jia Qi Meng, Qi Ping Zhang, Krishnanand Nair, Swathi Ramaprasad, Jare Shan, Minghua Tan, Michelle Kwong, Emmy Tang, Aditi Pathar, Sherman Yi, Junwen Zheng, Veronica Sister, Hanfei Sun, Mengyang Zhang, Chenming Liu, Ziyan Liu, Fan Yipyang, Meda Madalady, Ethan Fang, Jocelyn Tai, Kun-hee Kim, So Ryan Ihara, Kaiichi Inoue, Midori Pierce, Benjamin Vu, Andrea Juono, Kyung Ri, Justin Park, Ji Hee Yoon, Joel Chang, Chanchu Andrew Chang, Joseph Ang, Lawrence Wang, Daniel Tu, Mil Chang, Alexander Kiwi, Paul Terrell Perica, Hai Tan Liu, Sahil Raki, Gianni Kurniawan, Sheheryar Alam Khan, Clara Chisholm, Noah Kaminer, Andrew Giller, Amitej Mehta, Paxton Bryant, Benjamin Skinner, Megan Corrigan, Jillian Criscolo, Hyunsu Huang, Yuanrong Ju, Tina Tang, Chi Chao Ao, Meng Zhang, Vidit Bhatwadikar, Jiaxin Li, Yuan Qian Liang,
and Shams Amir.
Okay, don't get carried away now, John. Okay, well, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Data Science, please rise. In my authority, as Dean of the Division of Computing, Data Science, and Society at the University of California, Berkeley, I grant you the degree of Bachelor of Arts of Data Science with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Graduates, you may now shift your tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. Congratulations to all of you. Please stay in touch with us and with each other. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. And go Bears!